Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 2 for Flying with Overkill AV-8B Harrier for DCS World. And today we're going to take a look at starting the aircraft as well as setting up the controls. We'll set up our controls first. Now, I do set up my controls using RSMapper. There will be a link for it in the description below, so make sure you guys check that out if you guys are interested in it. It's a really handy piece of software that gives a lot of functionality that the sim doesn't have by default. That just makes things a little bit easier to work with, especially when, in the event that you lose all your control configs inside the sim. It makes it a lot easier to restore them. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the controls section here. Now I'm always going to start with the HOTAS here, and let's see what we've got. Alright, so first thing I need to do is make a new profile. For the Harrier. And let's just start with our controls here. Alright, so first thing right here we have our air-to-air modes, or actually looks like a little bit of everything here. So I'm going to go with the TMS switch for the weapons modes. So I'm going to go TMS up. And let's see how I want to do this. We got Sidewinder, bore sight. Alright, so we can do that. So Sidewinder, bore sight. Hello, learn how to spell. And that is going to be D on the keyboard. Simple enough. And then TMS down, we'll do Sidewinder seam. Oh, hello. That was if I'm clicked in. Sidewinder seam, and that is left shift and D. Then let's look at TMS right. Let's see here. So what's that going to be? That's going to be our AA mode guns. So let's just do air-to-air guns, and that is C on the keyboard, and then TMS left. I guess that's it. That's all we need for that. Alright, cool. Easy enough. Alright, so I'm going to stick with the flight stick for the moment. So let's see here. Air to ground, target undesignate, field of view button. That's going to be my pinky switch. So just go AG, TGT, undesignate, and then NWS for the nose wheel steering. And one more for field of view. You guys don't have to put the whole thing in there. I mean, don't feel like that's something you must do. Now, left win and N. That isn't going to work for me because my left win button doesn't work. So, by the way, when I switch between here and here, you guys may see the screen flash. I'll wait till it comes back before I do anything with it, but we're going to change this key binding. That took a minute. And actually, let's clear it first. My left, I have a Windows key, but the sim won't register it. Never does. So we're going to stick with some of the other aircraft and just go with S. It's what's most common. Now it's going to flash on you again. And now I'm just going to put S. I can't remember if nose wheel steering is a... I think it's just a toggle. We may have to change this to a repeat later, but I'm pretty sure it's just a toggle. Alright, so we have the pinky. Air brake, that's going to be on the throttle. The pickle button. So that's going to be weapons release. And you can type it whatever you want. Pickle button, weapons release, whatever. Float your boat. And right alt and space, I believe. You can just hit the first letter of the word you're looking for. Makes it easy. I typically put this one on repeat and continuous because when I push that button, I want to make sure the bomb goes off. Alright, and then what else we got? It's going to be comm switches, ECM dispense switches. I think I'm going to put that on... I'm going to put that on the stick. I'm going to use my countermeasure switches. Well, that's ECM. Oh, no, that's right. Okay. So what do we got? Forward for flares. So countermeasures forward. Let's call it flare. And that's going to be 8. Interesting keystroke. We'll start out by just leaving it on single press. CMS aft, countermeasure switch aft, is going to be flare, right? Or chaff, excuse me. And I just realized I messed that up. So that's actually, this one is 8. And then this one here is, what, 7, right? There we go. And then left is the jammer. And that is 9. And then right is everything. I'm just going to write countermeasures all. And that's going to be 0. Okay. And every now and then I like to do a file save just to make sure I don't lose anything. Alright, sensor select. Now, and actually, you know what? I gotta change that. This seems to be my sensor select switches because of the depression button. Alright, well, that is what it is. So let's go ahead and do this again. And this one is, what did I click? Darn it. So forward. Countermeasures forward is INS, IRMV, EOMV. And that's going to be left alt and U. Left alt and uniform. Nope. There we go. And then countermeasures aft. In this case, sensor select aft. Oh, you know what? I didn't change it. Oh, yes, I did. The aft is DMT LST/TV. And that's left alt and J. Right is FLIR black hot, white hot. Left alt and I. Nope. Left is map center decenter. And that one is left shift and Yankee. God, their controls are all over the place. And then the depression is, where are you? HUD, scene, reject, or TGP. And that is, what's that? Left alt in November. Okay. All right, so now let's go. Trying to decide what I want to do with my countermeasures now. I really don't want them on the throttle. I guess I can use the DMS hat. I don't think it's used for anything else. Yeah, let's use DMS for our countermeasures. Alright, so DMS up. We're going to call it forward, which is going to be flares on number 7. DMS down is chaff. Did I put charf? I did. And that's going to be 8. Right was all on 0. Left is the mini jammer, which I don't even know if it's implemented. Which is 9. Okay, now give it another file save. And let's take a look what we got here. TDC, that's going to be on the throttle. Throttle cutoff, that's on the throttle. Trigger, that's probably a big one. And we want trigger 2 for the secondary depression. Spacebar, we will want continuous because of the guns. Trim. Alright, so trim nose down. Oops. Is right control and up arrow. We're going to want that on repeat. Trim nose up. Sure, it's going to be right control and down arrow. Right wing. And left wing. Okay. Alright, so now I think we're ready to move to the throttle. So coming back up to the top, sort of work my way in. Air brake in and air brake out. So let's find our speed brake switch. Speed brake forward. We want air brake out. Now we may have to make a sequence for this. We'll see. It all depends on the aircraft. Some aircraft require me to do it and some don't. We don't want continuous because that's a locked switch. Speed brake aft. Same thing. Oops. That was left shift B. And this one we do want repeat and continuous because it's a momentary switch. And actually trigger on release. Which is... Oh, that's going to be left control B, right? Nope, left shift B. This one's left control B. I think I messed that up over here, though. Nope, got it right. Alright, we'll have to test that once we get power to the aircraft. Alright, and then... Oh, I forgot a cage uncage button. Again, that needs to be changed. So we can do like left shift and C. Yep, that works just fine. Alright. I guess we could put that on the stick, actually. On that DMS left. I don't think we had anything there. Oh no, we have everything there. It was TMS, wasn't it? Yep, let's put it there. Get everything handy. Cage. Uncage. Left shift and C. Okay. Do another file save. Let's go back to the throttle. Alright, I think we... Not much to it here, man. The throttle cutoff. I'm going to clear that one. There we go. And is there anything on T? Smoke? That's smoke? Yeah, we can do that. Alright, I'm going to hit OK just to sort of save some things. I haven't decided if I'm going to map that one or not. But let's go ahead and go back into adjust controls. We do have a few more to do. Let's do our axis assignments. Whoa, yeah, we have a bunch of junk here. Okay, so TPR rudder pedals, those are obviously completely wrong. The throttle is wrong. This joystick has thrust attached to it. Come on, guys. That axis doesn't even exist. Where are you getting this axis from? Just testing things out here. Throw an axis tune on here. Give us a dead zone of about 4. Curvature, I like about 15 to 20, depending on the aircraft. Makes it a little bit easier to control it at those fine movements. Okay, that's done. Let's go for the rudder pedals. Okay, give them an axis tune again. 4 or 5. Oh, you know what? It picked up the brake pedal. Hang on a second. There we go. That should be good. And again, a little curvature. Nothing crazy. Just for those fine movements. That way you're not bouncing all over the place. Wheel brake left. Wheel brake right. Okay. Zoom control. This needs to go on the throttle. Okay, put on my slider. Thrust. Oh, helps when you click it. There we go. Nozzle angle. There we go. Nozzle angle. Okay. Alright. And then, what do we got here? The gear shift, really? Doesn't even have an axis on it. Alright, I think we're good now. Everything seems right. Alright. So we're done with the axis assignments. Now let's go back into all. And now we're sort of just looking for the things that we've missed. Refueling probe switch. This is one I do recommend mapping all the time. But let's do left shift P for in. And we can do P for out. Okay. And so now let's come over here. We're still working on the throttle here. Grab this guy here, just mapping my switches here. And we're just going to call it fuel probe. And out is P. Fuel probe in was left shift and P. Boom, that's done. Scrolling down a bit. Altitude hold. There we go. That's what it is. All right. I know how it is. All right. Fair enough. So we want the autopilot button. Automatic flight control, which is just A. Okay. Which is a toggle. And then we want altitude hold, which is H. Okay. The comm switches. What is... Why would they do this like that? Right control, backslash, and right alt and backslash. It's like every other freaking aircraft. It's one of those things, like, I get that they're a third-party developer, but, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Alright, so comm 1 is going to be right alt and right slash, repeat and continuous. And mic switch down, I'm going to do comm 2, which is right control and right slash. Did I set the... Yeah, I did. Modifier. Okay. File save. Flaps. That's a big one. Okay. Alright. I gotta remember how you set this correctly. Flaps mode. So it would be a cycle between... I hate the way they do this. I hate it when they do it like this. So let me get into the cockpit for a second. I need to look at this flap switch. Oh, got the head tracker. So it is just cruise, auto, and then stall. So if we go back to the controls, so it's cruise, auto, and stall. So it should be, if I'm moving the switch up, so let me find my flap switch. So flaps forward would be cruise. So it's going to be left control 2. So flaps cruise. And that's going to be left control in 2. Releasing that, we're going to go downward. So that would be left control 1. It's flaps auto. And then here, flaps full down would be another left control 1. So, oop, what the heck was that? Flaps stall. And then the center position here, going back up, would be... What, slaps? What is my problem? Flaps auto, which would be a left control 2. Alright, let's see if this works, because that was kind of wonky. Alright, camera's restored. So my physical flap switch is in the center position, and obviously this one has 2. So forward, nope, I have it reversed. Damn it. That one doesn't do anything. Alright, so forward puts it into stall. That doesn't make sense. Let's come back here again. So these should be reversed. Left control, oops, 1. I'm guessing this should be left control 2. Oh, what did I... Oh, that was dumb. Bound that to the wrong thing. Alright, so let me just test this first. File, save. So going forward. Good. That's what it should be. Alright. So then the reverse on the next segment. Black screen. Click flaps aft. Oh, actually, let's go flaps forward. So we're doing the reverse. So it should be 1 or 2 and then 1 over here. So this one should be left control 2. This one should be left control 1. I'm not going to worry about titling that. And save. And coming back. Alright, so both are in the center position. Good. Good. Alright, there we go. Flaps are working. Thought I saw it skip a position. Okay, cool. Alright, so that's done. Last thing we really need to get is the landing gear. Let's keep going. So flaps are set. The H2O switch. That'd actually be pretty helpful, wouldn't it? That's another one that's a pain in the butt to do when you're actually flying. The biggest one, if you only have a 2-position switch, then you do takeoff or landing and off. That's the biggest thing for that one. So let's do... And coming back. I'm going to set that guy over here. So we're going to set H2O landing is the position, and that was right control L, and then released H2O off. Set it for right control, and we just did O. Okay, so file, save that one. My NVGs and things, I'll show that later. Oh, you can hide the control stick. Okay, that's good to know. My NVGs I'll worry about later. Same thing with my jettison. Let's just get the landing gear set. There we go. So landing gear, I use this guy. Alright, so let's see here. Gear up will be left control G. Gear down is left shift G. All right, and that is it for our control setup for the next few episodes. As new things are needed, I will obviously display how those are added. I highly recommend you guys give RSMapper a try if you haven't tried it before. It's really handy. Notice I don't map anything in the sim. There are a few occasions that you must, just because things don't quite maybe register correctly, but it's very far and few between. Very, very handy software. Anytime, I do a reinstall or something like that, I have to start all over, I don't have to worry about saving my configurations and things like that. Occasionally, like the keybinds I've created here, I always back up my config anyway, but, worst case scenario, you find a config, a key command that isn't working, you check what it is in RSMapper, you check what it is in the sim, and you add a quick key command, but really rare, and again, that's only when you're talking about a fresh, brand new install. So See here, TDC, did we select the axis? Hang on a second. Let me get over there and get that done because I'm pretty sure I forgot about it. TDC slew, I did. Throttle, here we go. So horizontal, vertical, and guarantee we're going to have to tune these. So let's do a dead zone. I do like 10 because I have the modded TDC. And then we're going to have to do saturation. Take that down to like 30 for right now on the Y. And then a good 30 on the saturation or the curvature. And then come down to vertical, axis tune. So 10. Oops. $30. You know, I keep forgetting that you can do this now. And 30, and vertical, typically you have to invert. Alright, and so we'll try that out. We won't know what happens there until we start getting into using the TGP and things, but so we may have to adjust that, but at least we have a good starting point. Okay, so that is it for today's video. I was going to do the startup in this one as well, but that's just not going to work given how long that took. But the next video will be right behind it. I'm literally going to stop this video and start the next one up for startup. So they'll both be posting one right after the other. All right, guys. So I hope you guys are enjoying this series. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you guys are. If this is an aircraft that you're interested in learning, you're definitely going to want to be on board for these because I'm going to be moving pretty quick with them. All right. I will catch you guys in the next one.